Hey guys, welcome to Get Busy Watching. I'm your host, Honest Dan. Let's talk Oscar noms. So a quick thing here before I get started on making comments about the lists themselves. I want to go in making it clear to everyone that I have no particular investment in the Oscars. I watch it to enjoy the energy of the crowd, the excitement of every film's respective cast and crew, their families, possibly any goofs on the level of 2017's Best Picture fiasco.
And the Academy Award.
La La Land.
Damien Chazelle, we're standing on your shoulders. We lost, by the way, but, you know.
Guys, I'm sorry. No, there's a mistake. Moonlight, you guys won Best Picture.
Come on, this is not a joke. This is not a joke. I'm afraid they read the wrong thing.
I like trying to predict what movies will win, that mild hope that maybe this will win, but at the end of the day, my mentality is no matter what happens today, I'm not going to care tomorrow. I seldom agree with the Oscars as is. I know what movies I like. I have my own list of the best and favorite films of 2019. To me, watching this event is little more than a game. So with that in mind, let's get started. So I'm just going to go down the list here. Performance by an actor in a leading role. Antonio Banderas in Pain and Glory, Leonardo DiCaprio in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Adam Driver in Marriage Story, Joaquin Phoenix in Joker, and Jonathan Pryce in The Two Popes. Really, I think this category is pretty up in the air. I think everybody did a fantastic job. I guess for me, it would really come down to which of these movies I actually liked. So, like, I don't really care for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. If I had any actor that I felt like should win the role, I would probably say Adam Driver probably could use a win after Rise of Skywalker. Jonathan Pryce I thought was fantastic in Two Popes. I'm going to say, my prediction though, is that it's going to be Joaquin Phoenix that's going to win this one. But yeah, I'll probably say Adam Driver or Jonathan Pryce would be my hope. Performance by an actor in a supporting role. Tom Hanks in A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, Anthony Hopkins, The Two Popes, Al Pacino, The Irishman, Joe Pesci, The Irishman, and Brad Pitt in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. To be perfectly honest, I thought Tom Hanks' performance in Neighborhood was actually kind of awkward because it felt like he was almost too medicated. Like, the guy is almost too happy with the circumstances in his life. Now, I can't attest if that's actually how Mr. Rogers was in real life, but I don't know. The performance actually seemed awkward for me. But no, I agree with Anthony Hopkins, and I may not have cared about Irishman, but the acting was not the problem, so Joe Pesci, De Niro, their nomination is definitely, or Al Pacino, sorry, their nominations are definitely worth it. And Brad Pitt, I don't know, I didn't care for his performance in this one. I certainly think he's been in better roles, but, you know, whatever. If I had to take a guess, my prediction is that's going to go to one of the Irishman guys. I would probably say Joe Pesci if I had to put money down somewhere. Just because, like, it's been a while since you've seen him on screen, or at least since I've seen him on screen, and he did a great job. But out of all these choices, Anthony Hopkins would probably be my choice if I really wanted someone to win. Performance by an actress in a leading role. Cynthia Erivo in Harriet, Scarlett Johansson in Marriage Story, Saoirse Ronan in Little Women, Charlize Theron in Bombshell, and Renee Zellweger in Judy. To be perfectly honest, I kind of forgot that Harriet was even a movie at all, so I guess Erivo's performance wasn't that great in retrospect, but looking back on the movie now, I don't know, I kind of feel like it's the story of Harriet Tubman. If you couldn't do that role justice, then there'd be something phenomenally wrong with the performance. But no, Erivo did a solid job, but I just feel like she met a standard. She didn't go above and beyond, at least not for me. like I said, I kind of forgot about the movie too. Scarlett Johansson, I'm not surprised she's here. I saw Marriage Story and I thought that was just wonderful. Usually I'm not even a fan of Scarlett. I just feel like this is coming from a guy who loves the superhero movies. I love the Avengers. I adore the Avengers, but I never cared about her as Black Widow, which would probably be a little telling. I don't care about her upcoming solo film. But this year alone kind of turned me around on her in terms of just Jojo Rabbit. I thought was like the peak of her acting ability. She was so charming in that. But here we are with Marriage Story, and that blew me away. Like, wow. I have been so wrong about this woman. Yeah, no, I truly believe that she deserves this Oscar if she wins it. Saoirse Ronan and Little Women, I just didn't care about this movie. And same with Ronan's performance. I feel like she's been better in other films. I thought she was better in Lady Bird. With Charlize Theron, I'm not surprised. She did a great job as well. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that one. She wouldn't be my pick for winner of this one, but Renee Zellweger and Judy, here's definitely a challenging one. Between Scarlett and Renee, I would say Renee is a true contender as well. She's basically like Joe Pesci in this sense. Like, it's been a while since you've seen her on screen, and she came out swinging. And yeah, fantastic role. So between these two, I would say it's Scarlett or Renee. Actress in a supporting role: Kathy Bates in Richard Jewell, Laura Dern, Marriage Story, Scarlett Johansson, Jojo Rabbit, Florence Pugh, Little Women, and Margot Robbie in Bombshell. I gotta say, it's really cool to see Kathy Bates in here. I don't think she'll win the Oscar for this one, but Richard Jewell was a really good movie, and she was really good in it. Laura Dern actually would be a strong contender in my opinion, just because like she really brought forth a fierceness, a ruthlessness that I've not seen her do in her career, like, ever. You always think of Laura Dern as this like sweet-natured woman who, you know, basically just playing herself. But nope, she was fantastic in Marriage Story. I'm not surprised. Scarlett Johansson, again, like I said before, Jojo Rabbit was a wonderful film, and I thought ScarJo was just mind-bogglingly good and charming. This is the only one I really don't agree with, is Florence Pugh, and I love this woman. I think she's just amazing, but again, Little Women I did not think was that great a film, but just, you know, focusing on the performance itself. Her character is supposed to be 20 years old in the present day, but in all the flashback scenes, it's revealed that it took place 7 years prior, which that would make her like an early teenager, but she doesn't look like she's 13 years old. And to make matters worse, there are scenes where she doesn't even act like a 13-year-old, more like a 7 or 6-year-old, and it's really distracting and just really did not fit. So I don't agree with this one. I don't think Florence is going to get it, or at least she wouldn't be who I hope gets it, at least not for this one. I thought she did better in Fighting with My Family, to be honest. And finally, Margot Robbie. Yeah, I'm not surprised that she's in here. She is a great talent, but I just feel like out of all of them, Kathy Bates, Laura Dern, and ScarJo did the best job. But if I'm gonna put down money, I'm gonna say Laura Dern's gonna win it. So long as it's Laura or Scarlett, I'm okay with them. Best animated film of the year. I don't think I'm gonna have much of a dog in this race, just because like I haven't seen I Lost My Body or Klaus. That's like the one Netflix film that I missed out on. I mean, I could still watch it anytime, but I don't know. I think I'm done doing reviews from last year now. But I never even heard of I Lost My Body, which is kind of sad. It sounds like an interesting film, though. But out of the movies that are nominated, How to Train Your Dragon, Toy Story 4, and Missing Link, I would say Dragon. I really like Toy Story 4, but I think just in terms of what impacts me more, like, DreamWorks doesn't always make the best films unless it's How to Train Your Dragon or Kung Fu Panda. So Dragon has always been the standout animated film for me. Pixar with Toy Story 4, I feel like they've made better. It's still a really good film. It got me choked up, but it is a very flawed film. And Missing Link, I love Laika. I really, really love Laika. But Missing Link, I thought, was just the worst film that they've ever made. And it's not even a bad film. I've said this in my bottom 10, in my bottom 5 list. But yeah, it wasn't my favorite project of theirs. Achievement in cinematography. The Irishman, Rodrigo Prieto. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Joker, Lawrence Sher. The Lighthouse, Jaron Blashky. I'm so sorry. I can't pronounce names for the life of me. 1917, Roger Deakins. And Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Robert Richardson. Of course, I can pronounce those names just fine. Let's not beat around the bush. This is going to Roger Deakins. This is the Roger Deakins Award. Everyone else is just like, you did a good job too. Like, they're all here as a formality. So, yeah, 1917, Roger Deakins is going to get this one. I'm going to skip costume design, and just because, like, I feel like there are Oscar categories that should exist that don't, like choreography, stunts, and stuff like that. I just feel like costumes is not a great category. Achievement in directing. The Irishman, Martin Scorsese. Joker, Todd Phillips. 1917, Sam Mendes. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Quentin Tarantino. And Parasite, Bong Joon-ho. If I pronounced that correctly, I probably did not. Pardon my American tongue. Anyway, I don't care for Irishman. I don't know how many times I'm going to be saying that in this video, but I don't care. It's not like the direction is bad. I just feel like it's another gangster film. Joker, it is incredibly well directed. I give the film that. Let's see, 1917. Yeah, that's my number 4 favorite film of the year. I think Sam Mendes deserves a lot of accolades for that. I think it should go to him. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Tarantino. I don't think he's ever won Best Director, has he? Like, he's certainly won Best Screenplay more than a few times, but never Best Director. So I think just history dictates he won't win this one. And why would it be this one? He has made better films in the past that he's not won for. So I don't care. And as for Parasite, yeah, Parasite is my favorite film out of everything in this category. So I wish it would go there. But similar to Tarantino, history dictates that, foreigners don't win this award, which is kind of sad, especially for how good it is. I would say, I hope Sam Mendes gets the award, but I'm not going to be the least bit surprised if Todd Phillips or Scorsese get the Oscar. But my hope is Sam Mendes. Let's see, we got Best Documentary. I don't watch documentaries, so I have no investment in this. Same with short subject documentary. Don't know any of those. I should have a stake in Best Editing just because, like, I thanks to this channel, I'm learning how to edit. But as for someone who judges editing, I can only tell when editing is bad, not when it's good. So in my mind, if it's not bad, then it's just doing its job. So, and I know that's not a good way to look at it, so until I've learned more about good editing, far and above and beyond editing, I'm going to keep my mouth shut about this subject. But I am going to talk about Best International Feature Film, at least to a degree, because I haven't seen Poland's Corpus Christi, and I haven't seen North Macedonia's Honeyland, so I can't predict anything regarding those. I did see Les Miserables, Pain and Glory, and Parasite, though. I'm going to take a wild guess and say that Parasite's going to win. It's truly deserving of it. It's my favorite film pretty much all across the board throughout these categories. So, yeah, Parasite's going to win. It's going to be my hope that it wins. Alright, so a lot of these next categories I'm going to skip, like makeup and hairstyling again. choreography and stunts exist, I think it's far more deserving. Like, these are people that are actually putting their lives on the line on occasion. Makeup and hairstyling is just makeup and hairstyling. It's so unimportant. Achievement in music for motion pictures, original score, basically. I don't always pay attention to scores unless they really jump out at me, and nothing really did. So I'm gonna not talk about this. Achievement for original song. I don't even remember half of these, but Frozen 2's on this list. Just give it to Frozen 2. It's a multi-billion-dollar fucking movie, so just give it to Frozen 2. No one's gonna care. Everyone expects it anyway. I'm gonna do Best Picture last just for dramatic purposes. That's what the Oscars do anyway. What a weird placement for this category, too, on this list. Achievement in Production Design, not going to talk about that. Best Animated Short Film, not going to talk about that. Best Live Action Short Film, not going to talk about that. Sound Editing and Sound Mixing, I don't think I can talk about this. I don't have an ear for that sort of thing. I honestly don't even know what the real difference is. I've Google searched these things multiple times throughout the year, and the best I can come up with is, the best I can understand is that sound editing is like just having the sounds, which sounds kind of bare bones. So, I don't understand that too much. Sound mixing, I do give credit. Had Astra's nominated for something, I do give credit. That movie did have great sound design. So, as for everything else, I don't care. No investment here. But here's something I will talk about: achievement in visual effects. Avengers Endgame, The Irishman, The Lion King, 1917, and Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Wow. Okay. So Avengers Endgame is obviously my #1 favorite film of the year. It is not the best film of the year. I do not care. It is my favorite. But as in terms of visual effects, yeah, I think this should win. Why? Because even though, yeah, you have a lot of scenes where there's a lot of visual effects on screen, there's a lot of CGI on screen, but what I've always admired about these films is that no matter how much is thrown at you on screen, it knows how to shoot it in a way that you know what to follow. Or you have a nice little window of what you can follow, like something happening right here versus something happening over here, but your eyes know what they're supposed to follow. And I think that's, and especially for how huge this cast is, especially toward the climax, I think this is a wonderful film in terms of visual effects. The Irishman, I mean, really, the visual effects are just all in like the de-aging and the just making everyone look younger and older, and I just don't think that's like, I mean, it is the best on the market. It's better than anything that they did for Avengers, Captain Marvel, for example, but I don't know, it just looks like another, I'm going to be saying this so many times, it just looks like another period gangster film. I'm not impressed with Irishman. I mean, I'm impressed with the de-aging tech, but that's about the best I can say. The Lion King, God, I have a coworker who said it best. It's like the effects are so good that I hate it. I totally agree with that. It's so true. I mean, out of all of these films, yeah, I would say that Lion King has the best visual effects because this movie set out to make hyper photorealistic animals, and they do look realistic. The problem is that the movie isn't very good. I guess you could say the same thing about Rise of Skywalker, because the movie itself is not very good. I know it's a very divisive film, but take the visual effects themselves, yeah, they're fine. They're about as fine as any other CG heavy film. I think Avengers Endgame is far more impressive, though. And 1917, it's not a CGI heavy film, but the visuals are fantastic. So out of everything here, I would say 1917 and Avengers Endgame are more deserving of this award. If I had to take a guess of what's going to win, probably Irishman or, God forbid, Lion King. Just not Lion King, I'll probably be fine. Adapted screenplay. Steven Zaillian, The Irishman, Taika Waititi, Jojo Rabbit, Todd Phillips and Scott Silver, Joker, Greta Gerwig, Little Women, and Anthony McCartan, The Two Popes. I think the only one I don't like, the two that I don't like are Little Women and Irishman. They're not especially bad written films. I just feel like they set out to do their job. Little Women's out to empower women, and Irishman's out to make a gangster film. Nothing particularly stands out, at least not to me. For the ones that do, I think it's going to go to either Jojo Rabbit, Joker, or Two Popes. I think out of all these films, though, I would say The Two Popes is my favorite film. Jojo Rabbit and Joker, yeah, I like Jojo Rabbit a lot more than Joker, but I think it's going to go to Joker. My hope is that it goes to The Two Popes. Original screenplay: Ryan Johnson for Knives Out, Noah Baumbach, Marriage Story, Sam Mendes and Christy Wilson Cairns, 1917. Sorry for all the mispronunciations. Quentin Tarantino, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Bong Joon-ho and Han Jin-won for Parasite. I'm going to take a wild guess and say that Tarantino's going to take this one. He usually, well, not usually, but he has a good chance. This is the category he will tend to win. Knives Out, I really liked the film. I thought it was a lot of fun. I don't know if I would pick it for best screenplay, though. Marriage Story was incredible, so I think it should go to this. 1917, it's a weird one. I don't think it was poorly written, but I don't think the writing stands out especially either. So I'm going to say 1917 should not win this category. Not my pick. Parasite, yeah, it's my favorite film in this category. I would love it if it won. So my hope is that it's Parasite. I don't think it's going to. I think it's going to go to Tarantino. If not Tarantino, then it's going to go to Marriage Story. Now it's time for the big one. Best Motion Picture of the Year. Ford v Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite. By this point in the video, I think everyone probably can guess that if I had a hope that would win, it would be Parasite. It's my favorite film out of all those films. If not Parasite, then 1917. I love those films. They're my favorite on this list. I would not be the least bit upset though if Ford vs Ferrari won. I thought that was a great film too. It was in my runner-ups. It was in my favorite runner-ups. And Jojo Rabbit, I adore that film. I highly doubt it's gonna win, but that it'd be nice if it did. Honestly, I think though, even though I don't like The Irishman, I like Joker. I've just since grown to like it less and less the more I've thought about it since I've seen it. Little Women I don't care for. Marriage Story, you know what? As far as like Jojo Rabbit and Ford vs Ferrari, Marriage Story is on that list of I would not complain if it won. And Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I didn't care for it. 3 movies in this section that I just do not care about: Once Upon a Time, Irishman, and Little Women. I wouldn't be surprised if Joker won, honestly. I don't think it should. So, yeah, I'm going to take a wild guess and say The Irishman's going to take it, or Joker. I think Marriage Story has a good shot, but again, my picks are Parasite, 1917. Those are my top picks. This one's pretty up in the air. I'm just gonna call it. It's gonna be Irishman, or it's gonna be Once Upon a Time. You know what? I don't think it's gonna go to Once Upon a Time either. I take that back. It's gonna go to Irishman or Joker, but I hope Parasite, 1917. I will not complain if it's Marriage Story, Ford vs Ferrari, or Jojo Rabbit. But I'm pretty sure Jojo Rabbit's not gonna take it. So anyway, that concludes our my reaction to the Oscar nominations, my predictions, my hopes. So let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think is gonna win? What do you guys hope is gonna win? let's see what happens when the Oscars finally roll around. When is it? February 9th. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I really appreciate it. Have a great day. Hope to see you soon.